We see every offseason there is usually at least one all-star caliber player that is demanding a huge contract. We have plenty example of guys that get the bag and they don't fulfill the huge expectations that got them that contract. So, do long-term deals equal success in championships? Let's dig into it. It's important that we start off with a player's service time. Baseball is completely different from basketball and football when it comes to the construction of contracts. In baseball, a player must serve 6 years of time in the MLB. So, if a player makes his debut at 23, a player doesn't hit the free agency market until 29. Once that player hits free agency, especially a superstar that performs highly through their service time expects a long-term deal. Usually players are out of their athletic prime by their early 30s, which means it is a huge risk for a team to give a player a long-term deal, knowing the back half of their contract the player may be a shell of himself. Some players receive large contracts based on past performance, but as they age, their skills may decline. Injuries, wear and tear, or simply the natural aging process can affect a player's ability to perform at a high level, leading to a gap between expectations and reality. Let's take Alex Rodriguez for example. A-Rod signed a 10-year, $275 million contract in 2007 with the New York Yankees, which was the highest paid contract at the time. In the final 5 years of his deal, Rodriguez really struggled staying on the field because of PED suspensions and injuries. Although he did win one World Series with the Yankees in 2009, was it worth 5 final years of adequate performance? Miguel Cabrera signed an 8-year, $248 million contract extension in 2016 at the age of 33 with the Detroit Tigers. For the duration of that deal, he was only named an All-Star once, which was in the first year of that deal. He struggled with injuries and his power numbers dropped tremendously, never hitting more than 20 home runs. He had a total of 65 home runs in the last 7 years of his deal. The Detroit Tigers during Miggy's long-term deal never made the playoffs, attributing one winning season and had an abysmal winning percentage of 42.4%. Front offices have noticed the older the player, the more risk. So clubs have started investing more money into their younger players, giving them 10-year contracts, which makes sense because they will be playing into their prime. But there is also a little bit of risk because they may not have shown over a long period of time they can play at a superstar level. Some examples are Fernando Tatis and Julio Rodriguez. You can say, well, Miggy is just one player. All of these superstar players are one individual and cannot control what the other 25 players do. I would say you are correct, but the determination if a long-term contract equals team success both relies on a competent front office responsible with putting a contender on the field mixed with a superstar player carrying a lot more weight because of his monetary investment a team gives him. Let's look at Bryce Harper. He had a very successful career with the Washington Nationals. Once Harper was a free agent, he was seeking a long-term deal and a big payday. The Nationals did not pay up and ended up losing him to the Philadelphia Phillies. The next year though, the Nationals won the World Series. Was Bryce Harper not that valuable to the Nationals World Series run? Maybe, but did the front office of the Nationals put together a talented rotation with Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, and Patrick Corbin, along with future superstar Juan Soto? Yes. On the flip side, Mike Trout is a phenomenal player and is worth every penny of his 12-year, $426 million contract. But the Angels haven't sniffed the playoffs mainly because of their inept roster that is around him. There isn't a clear answer on if giving a superstar a long-term deal is a good move. Every situation is different. Some owners want to spend while others are frugal and want to build from within. A team might sign a player to a large contract for marketing or ticket sale purposes, even if the on-field impact does not commensurate with the salary. Performance-wise, will Shohei Ohtani's deal be worth his $700 million contract? Probably not, but will he be worth $700 million because of his marketability, jersey, and ticket sales? Yes. While looking at these deals, it is important to gain full context of a player's career. So in the current state, let's look at some guys who have hefty contracts that are still playing out and give an answer on if they've been successful or not. Aaron Judge, too early, only 1 year into his deal. Corey Seager, already won a World Series and a World Series MVP this year with the Texas Rangers. Success. Bryce Harper, won an NL MVP, team has been in the playoffs twice and went to a World Series. Success. Garrett Cole, won a Cy Young and is literally carrying the Yankees rotation. Success. Anthony Rendon, too many injuries, forgot how to hit, and has no desire to play baseball. Bad contract. Wander Franco, I have a feeling the Rays will be able to get out of this deal, but in the meantime, bad contract. Giancarlo Stanton, very streaky but has a hard time staying on the field. He hasn't lived up to his MVP days. Bad contract. If you have any other players in mind that lived up to their contracts or vice versa, drop them in the comments. Thank you for listening, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and help us spread the news about the best game on earth.